Hello, Collateral Gaming listeners. Chazzle Dazzle here from the Trial by Error Variety Show podcast. I just wanted to take a few seconds to invite you guys over to what we do. No, it's not video games, but we do invite really awesome and unique bands from all over the world. We dig deep into their souls and find really cool stories to tell you, and there's tons of music every week, so subscribe to us wherever you subscribe to your podcast. We look forward to having you.
I'm Ashley Chancellor.
And I'm Megan Gomez.
This is Collateral Gaming. Happy holidays and welcome to Collateral Gaming, the only video game podcast that matters. We focus on good games, bad games, and everything else in between in the world of gaming. Guys, we are podcasting straight from somewhere in South Texas, and yes, we are a 420 friendly podcast. So, hell yeah, Christmas was pretty cool. What do you think, Megan?
Yeah, for me, I've had a lot of people agree with this too. Christmas has been a little bit off this year, but it was still fun. Got to celebrate with family. I did lose a family member this year, so it was a little difficult for me, but we hung in there, and my husband's grandma flew in yesterday, so we're eating some El Salvadorian food and getting our bellies nice and full and hanging out with her while we can, and just waiting for the new year to kick in so we can get into 2022, all the fun stuff. What about you?
I'm optimistic about 2022. I mean, not a lot came out this year in 2021 in the as gaming wise. So, I'm optimistic. I said Christmas was pretty cool, but I mean it's been all right. I unfortunately haven't been able to spend Christmas with my daughter yet because my ex-wife tested positive for COVID, so we're...
Oh, no.
Yep. So I haven't gotten to spend it,
Merp.
but we've postponed it. I did get one of the games that we're reviewing this season for Christmas. So, yeah, that was good. I got Hellblade: Senua's Saga. It was on my wish list because we're going to do it. So
Yeah.
I'm glad someone got that for me. I don't know. We've still yet to do the gift exchange, so there could be more gaming-related Christmas stuff. Mainly,
Yeah.
I'm just really excited to watch my daughter open her presents because that was the one thing I wanted to do. That's what I was most
Yeah.
excited about. And I haven't gotten to do it yet, but it's going to happen. It's just postponed.
Yeah. I hate that whenever Christmas is delayed. We had the same thing. I ordered a whole bunch of stuff, and all the stuff for my in-laws didn't come in, so we just felt like jackasses just sitting there opening our presents, and nobody else, is opening presents because ours weren't here in time. Like his mom, like her nickname is the Terminator, so like we got her a Terminator mug, and nothing is here. So I'm like, hey, Terminator, you lost your hand.
Oh.
Yeah, but it's okay. We'll hang in there, and I'm just excited that it'll get here eventually.
Shit happens.
Yeah.
Did you get anything gaming related? Any new games or accessories?
Oh my god, I did, and I totally forgot to show you. It's in my pocket. I'm still in my scrubs, guys. It's fine. My brother-in-law got me a Triforce knife.
Nice.
It's a pocket knife, so it's my new everyday carry. I love it so much. I open everything with it. And I freaking yes, it's so nice, and the blade is like perfectly sharp. If y'all don't know, I'm obsessed with anything that has a knife blade on it. So it's
Whoa.
a problem.
Remind me not to piss you off.
Yeah, it's a problem. But yeah, that's my favorite gaming related item. Other than that, Alan, I was gonna get me something for the Switch, but it was back ordered. I think it was like a new carrying case or something. It was like a bigger one than the tiny small one that you can get. So he was gonna get me a bigger case so we can carry stuff when we go see Elena and everything. But other than that, no, nothing else gaming related. I haven't been playing, besides stuff for the podcast, just because my PS4 has been overheating like crazy, and it's not really wanting to play anything.
Mine
And
has
we've
been
been so
overheating
busy.
too.
Yeah, and it's God, and I've been wanting to play, especially like Horizon, and play some of the newer games. I like I said in the last episode, I'm not really playing COD anymore, so I don't play the Xbox as much, but that one gets used for mostly streaming services anyway. So neat merp.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I think that's about all I got so far. Got a lot of clothes.
Yeah, me too. I
and
got most of the clothes
snacks.
this year.
But when you're an adult, you're like, hell yeah, actually.
Yeah, I got a new pair of sweatpants, and I'm like, hell yeah, man, let's go.
Yeah, that's kind of a mark of maturity there when you're excited about socks or
Yes.
something, like
I get fuzzy socks every year. It's my favorite freaking thing. I'm like, more pairs of fuzzy. Let's go.
Fuck yeah. Well, anyway, we are here to talk about The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. This is part
Mm.
2. So if you didn't listen to
Mhm.
part 1, go ahead and check it out. To be honest, though, I suppose you could really listen to these in any order, but
Yeah. If you want to go backwards, that's fine. You're just gonna go back in time to us talking more and more about COVID.
but yeah, last time we kind of touched on the overall gameplay, the dungeons.
Yeah.
One thing I wanted to take, and even some of the items, but one thing I wanted to really take a look at in this game, because it's spectacular, it's definitely worth talking about, is the story, the
Yes.
characters. I mean,
Mm.
I know you've got a lot to say about that.
Yes. Oh my God. This game is one of my top 5 of all time for a reason. You know, all the other games, they don't get as deep as Twilight Princess does. It gets deep and dark, and it's, like Majora's Mask is heavy, but because of the way that this game is animated and the way that it's carried and the way that you go through the game, it feels darker and heavier. It's almost like a depression kind of thing. And it really just sucks you in, and you're just like, man, like is anything ever gonna be okay? Am I just gonna be surrounded in a shroud of twilight forever? Like, there's just so much about this game, and y'all can hate me as much as you want, but to this day, Midna is bae. I fucking love Midna. Like, I cut off. I don't know if y'all have seen any of our posts, but I had really long hair before, and I cut off 8.5 inches, and I am ready to throw some temporary hairspray in my hair and turn into Midna right now, right the heck now. I love her so much. Plus, Epona is a little bit more charismatic in this one. I feel like she's more
Mhm.
giddy, and you get more like reading into her.
You can actually talk to her.
Yes, yes, when you're in your wolf form.
So,
Mhm.
that's kind of a big one. I think that's something we didn't mention last time, but in wolf form, Link can talk to animals. So it's actually kind of fun.
It is. It is. I feel like this game, it has a lot of dark moments, but it also has a lot of the cutesy moments that I love in games, like the little tiny things that developers think of at the last minute that you're just like, oh my God, you can hold a cat. You can talk to your horse. Oh my God. And I love that.
I mean, yeah. I mean, Zelda's always full of those lighthearted, goofy moments as well. I mean, even in this game, there's no shortage of it.
Hmm.
I love the postman in this game is such an animated character.
That made me think of the.
Hey!
I know we already got over the fact of Christmas, but Alan got a rifle bag for Christmas, and it stands really tall, but it's got backpack straps, and it's really tall and boxy, and he's lifted up his shoulders, and he looked like the postman, and I could not hesitate sending it to the group chat. And I could have
Yes,
sworn I killed Ash for a second. He was dying.
that
He
was
dead.
amazing.
I was like, it's Alan the postman.
The postman uniform is one of the costumes in Hyrule Warriors, actually, for Link.
Is it really?
Yeah, yeah. The
Oh
postman's
my God,
uniform
I
from
love that.
Twilight Princess, along with like Link's Twilight garb that's in the game and a lot of the other stuff. But
Can we just talk about that though? Because I feel like this tunic is the elite tunic. Like, this is the one that's just like whenever you think about cosplays, like you think of like the Walmart Link one, and I'm sorry, but that's like Ocarina of Time, and this one is like cosplay.com. Like, it's like ready to go, $400. Like, you're dropping some money on it, baby, but it's nice. Like, this is my favorite tunic for Link. It's very detailed, and it's a dark emerald green, so it's more deep colored, which really like brings out his complexion and his hair. And I love it. I love it so much.
yeah, I enjoy this version of the hero's clothes as well the most, I think, because
Yeah.
well, first of all, it was the first time that they really went realistic with it, including chainmail underneath the tunic. I think that was important. The tights looked a little less like tights and more like pants.
Mm-hmm.
Twilight
Like, I'm a girl.
Skyward Sword kind of expanded on it, but I always enjoy the design in Twilight Princess more just because it's more realistic. It's a little gritty. The color just is really nice and complements him well. What's really odd to me though is that Link's hair is colored blonde in all of the promotional artwork, but in the game it's more of a light brown or like a
It's like a
brunette.
dirty ash blonde, yeah.
It's like a dirty ash blonde.
Yeah.
It's pretty much exactly what my hair looked like a few years ago.
Yeah, yeah. Now that you mention it, yes.
So, it definitely is. I thought that was pretty odd. I think Smash Brothers to this day is still kind of, well, sorry, no. The latest Smash Brothers didn't, but even both Brawl and Smash 4 pretty much reused this Twilight Princess design. I mean,
Yeah.
the Smash on for Wii U and 3DS, I think they started to try to incorporate some of the Skyward Sword aspects, but it was still mainly based on this design because, Breath of the Wild, of course, was a whole new dynamic, but for a while, this
Yeah.
was kind of like the definitive Link.
Yeah, this is like the elitist Link. This is like like even like the Zelda is more like the other one she's more like help me, oh my god, and this one she's more of like an actual, like, you see like the regal princess that you expect. I feel like what if you were to expect a Zelda game, like coming into it not knowing, thinking, this would be the perfect game because Zelda is this beautiful regal princess and she has these wonderful like dresses that she wears, and Link looks like, a proper hero, and he's all set up and ready to go. Even Epina's tack is just so much more like, it's not just like, oh, it's my farm horse. It's like, this is my pony and I ride her across the Gerudo Desert, bitch. Like, it's more, and I do like that there's more realism in this one because that's kind of my style of game. And I feel like this one is kind of like, I've only played a little of it. Like I've said, I haven't really tried to delve into Breath of the Wild until things calmed down for us because we've been hunting and, grandma's in town and everything. But I feel like this was kind of like the predecessor, like, setup for the style that Breath of the Wild was trying to follow, and what I kind of wanted Zelda games to follow after this, because this one is just, it took me by storm for sure. Like, this is, all of my favorite fan art, all of my favorite, like, moments are from this game. Like, this one just, it captured me for sure.
Yeah, no, that for me as well. I mean, for a while, this was my favorite Zelda game, and then I went back and played Majora's Mask, and I was like, I really like what Majora's doing, and then Breath of the Wild had to come out and just be really fantastic. So, Twilight Princess kind of got pushed down, and over the years, I sort of was like, I don't know if I like Twilight Princess or Wind Waker more. I mean, I kind of like them equally. So I think they're like tied for second place for me. Like, I would say, that would make Twilight Princess my second favorite Zelda game, along with something else and behind something else. But
yeah.
But no, it's definitely up there because, like I said, I enjoy the realism. I enjoy the darkness. There's so many dungeons and so many cool items.
Yeah.
The world is huge, at least for the time when it came out. I mean, it was big for a Zelda game. It was the biggest Zelda map so far.
Exactly. and also something I totally forgot to tell you is actually they advanced the AI a little bit more in this game than they did in Wind Waker. So I think that's another reason why I like it more, because the game is a little bit like Wind Waker, like going back and playing it, like as I got older, it felt a little bit more childish to me because it wasn't like as focused as like the gameplay is in this one and the fighting style is in this one, because this one's more like, okay, go 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 go. It's not just like, oh hey, look, I can dodge an attack, look, I can dodge an attack, which is all you do in Ocarina of Time.
Well, and it actually expands on some concepts from the Wind Waker. In the Wind Waker, they introduced the parry, which actually are the backslice and the helm splitter. But in this game, rather than just having it hit A with the correct timing, the helm splitter and the backslice are now independent moves that you can perform separately, along with the other hidden skills. I mean, I think we touched upon the ending blow already, but...
Yes, that is one of my favorite parts of the game is when he approaches you and you just the skeleton. It's just a beautiful, because it's like
the hero shade.
It's like, yes, and it's one of the little tidbits you pick up in the game, like how for example, like Cal in Star Wars, how he has the memories. It's a cool little like, hey, here's an extra tip, you can do this now, and you're like, oh, cool.
And the hero shade is Link from Ocarina and Majora.
Yes.
That's the same one, the Hero of Time. That was confirmed later with Hyrule Historia, but we always knew. And he felt regret because he wasn't remembered as a hero. The land of Hyrule forgot about him. Never knew what he was up to because he went back in time and prevented it all from happening. And Majora wasn't, I mean, Termina wasn't a real fucking world, apparently, so...
It's fine, it's casual.
Looks like my life had mounted to nothing. God damn it. But it is cool to see, like, two versions of Link interacting with each other. You know, I think I really do enjoy that, and you get a little bit of insight into, I guess, what Link's personality is, more so than we normally see. But yeah, and the hidden skills themselves are really cool. There's an epic feeling every time you learn a new one. You're excited, and then getting to pull them off in combat just opens up so many more possibilities. Other than the helm splitter and the backslice and the ending blow, you know, you also have got the shield bash. What else? The great spin, the mortal draw.
Yes.
The jump strike.
Yeah, I think the shield bash was the hardest for me, though. I could never get that one right, ever.
Really?
Yes, it took me like 10 tries my first time because I could not get it. Like the timing was so off. But every other one I got perfect. I was like, okay.
Oh, because you gotta shield bash the projectiles back.
Yeah.
But you have to shield bash before you do a helm splitter, but that's just so fun to just flip over someone's head. I mean, I love fighting the Dark Knights, for instance, because all it is hidden skill after hidden skill after hidden skill until you rip off all of their armor bit by bit. It's so much fun fighting the Dark Knights in this game. More fun than the Iron Knuckles were in Ocarina and Majora, for sure.
Yes. Well, I mean, plus, like, I love the bokoblins. Like, they're just, you're like, what is this thing? And then they're just like running. Like, I remember there was a save that we had in the GameCube, and it was like almost all the way completed, where you can kind of like run all the way around the map and just kind of mess around. And that's the one thing I do miss about games like this is, like, you can get to a certain point in the game where you can just kind of free play if you keep it at a certain point on a save. And I would just run around Hyrule Field and kill bokoblins all day. And the what's it called? The buzzards. I don't know. I remember what they're called off the top of my head right now. The birds.
The bats are the keys. The birds are Kargaroks or something.
Yes. Okay. God, I was trying to say Korg.
I know in Zelda, anything that ends in rock is actually a bird of some kind, or I guess in some cases a dragon. That works too.
And birds, according to scientists, are very similar.
So yeah, I mean, you've got the Kargaroks, Helmarok King, and the Argarok, one of the bosses in this game. Stal is another one. Anything the Stal is like a skeleton type enemy. If it ends in Phos, it's a humanoid enemy. Lizalfos, Stelfos.
Yeah.
So there are some running things. Anything that ends with Blin is some sort of goblin, Bokoblin, Bulblin. This game introduces the Bulblins and King Bulblin, who you fight like three separate times or 4 separate times.
I think it's 4.
It is 4, isn't it?
Yeah.
Twice on horseback, twice, hand to hand or sorting or whatever.
Oh, I think that's one of my favorite parts in the game is when you're fighting Ganon on the bridge.
Uh-huh.
Oh god, that just the way that they built that fight is just so theatrical, and it's very, very well constructed. And then Zelda's like, "Ah, oh my god!" You're like, "Where the fuck are you going? What are you doing?" She's like, "Fine, I'm gonna go with Zora's bitch." What? Excuse me.
I do enjoy the final boss fights of this game quite a bit. I mean, first you start off with Ganon's puppet Zelda. So Zelda's like being possessed by Ganon, and it's just Dead Man's Volley.
Yeah.
But which is where you keep hitting the energy thing with your sword a bunch of times, not dissimilar to Ganondorf and Ocarina. But after that, then you fight Ganon in his beast form. As Ganon, and his
fucking terrifying,
huge, ginormous boar. But instead of being bipedal, they decided to go for just a full feral boar, which
pig.
makes sense because we could consider that to be like his Twilight form, like Link's is a wolf.
Yeah, and that's one thing that we didn't really touch on is like the desperation that Link feels and the complete sadness that he feels when he's first a wolf. And something that I just love so much is the piercings in his wolf ears that continue into his human form.
Yeah.
Like I love that. And I love the piercings. Like I wanted a dog that looked like that forever, and then I realized it's like pretty much fucking cruel. Like I was a kid, so of course I'm like, man, I want to make my dog's ears look like that. And then I would get my poor dog. I would put fake piercings on her ears. It wouldn't hurt her, but she'd be like just scratching at her ears, like, Mom, what are you doing? Stop.
Wolf Link is actually kind of cute too sometimes.
He's adorable. He gets all excited when he digs shit up, and he's like, hey guys, look.
And he twists around in a circle sometimes.
Yes. Like I wanted a husky for the longest time just because of Wolf Link. Like I was like, man, you can get a husky that looks like that, and then I realized how much they shed and how much they scream, and I was like, no, I'm good. Thank you. I'll stick with German Shepherds.
Wolf Link was so popular that they brought him into Breath of the Wild with an amiibo.
Yes.
So
I heard about that. I haven't been to that point yet, but
yeah, that's pretty cool. You can just summon Wolf Link into the world, and he acts like a wolf, does wolf things.
Chill, dude. I was just gonna say, just the story of this game is something. I know that this game is, a lot older than some of the games we talked about recently, especially as far as like Breath of the Wild and other things like that. But this one is such a notable game. It's Nintendo did such a good job on this game, and it is just fucking phenomenal. I mean, you can't do better than this one besides Breath of the Wild. Like I know that you can't get past the classics like Ocarina and Wind Waker. And of course Majora's Mask. Like who doesn't fucking love Majora's Mask? But there's just this game holds its own kind of candle, and it's in its own way in the Zelda universe, and it's so pretty. And the story, you get to see two different parts of Hyrule. You get to see the Twilight Realm, and where it's just cast in this complete utter darkness, and then you get to see the beautiful light of Hyrule Field and the Zora, and you get to see the lake. It's such a pretty fucking game, man. It's like I said in the last episode, it's a beautiful disaster of a game, but it's so worth it. So worth it.
The world is beautiful. I mean, it's still, in my opinion, it still holds up quite a bit, especially if you're playing the HD version of the game. I mean, they kind of tweak it up a little bit and make it look a little bit better. We started kind of talking about some of the characters here, but we didn't really get into it. I mean, Midna, you said is one of your favorite characters in the Zelda series, right?
She's an existential part of your playthrough in this game. She helps you go through the game. She really gives you a lot of life advice when you're going through some shit.
Yeah, she's your Navi, but not nearly as annoying.
Less annoying. Yes.
Or your Fi and not nearly as annoying.
Ugh.
Not as helpful in some ways, but she's actually a character in the game that's more than just filling this role. I mean, she is actually an integral part of the story. She is the eponymous character, the Twilight Princess.
Yeah, and she's the princess of Twilight, and her human form, by the way, my lord, she any fucking day.
She's so sassy and she's great.
Yes.
And like I said before, I mean, she totally has a relationship with Link in this game. I mean, it's obvious. And just sort of, over the course of the story, at the beginning, she's definitely manipulating him, and she admits to that. But, towards the end of the story, she cares about him and she loves him, honestly. I mean, you can tell. And she's even, caring about the world of light and not wanting it to fall at ruin. So Minda undergoes a tremendous character arc in this game.
Yes. And it's weird to see a Zelda game that kind of tricks you, because like you really think in this Hyrule that, Link and Zelda are together like in every other game, but it's actually him and Midna. Like you can feel it's not so much like a romance, but you can feel the love for each other. They have this like they've been through everything. They've been through a prison cell, they've been through, fighting, all of these crazy monsters, going through all these dungeons together, and she's just always there with you. And that's something you don't really get from Zelda in this game. Zelda's kind of just like, she's important, but she's like a side character almost. She's not as important as in other games.
Yeah, definitely. Zelda, although she's portrayed really well here, I would say, in terms of, like confidence and the way she carries herself. She's not nearly as involved in the story. She's very stoic.
Yeah.
When she does appear. So, you didn't really feel that. I mean, Link does have a competing love interest with Ilya. That's a strong contender. I mean, that's like his childhood sweetheart, it seems like.
Yeah.
But they could just as easily be best friends. It's kind of open to interpretation of how you feel about it, Obviously, he doesn't end up with Minda. She leaves forever to the Twilight world. And you could see that just the total desperation. And, he's broken up about it.
Yeah, they're both very, very upset about it, and but the things that I think I love more about Twilight Princess is like, there's a lot of games out there where the woman is just like, oh my god, help me, and fucking Zelda's like, no, I'm gonna wear a fucking mask and become Sheik. I don't give a shit.
Right?
Like she's a very powerful woman in this game. Like it's not as much shown, it's not as much shared in this game, but she's very powerful, and she holds herself to a different standard. And I think that's another reason why you don't really see as much romance with Link as you do in other games, because she's more focused on leading her kingdom and becoming the queen that she wants to be. She's not focused on a man. She don't need a man because she's over here acting like a damn man in the Gerudo Desert.
What's funny too is if this Link is the descendant of the hero of time, we know that, and he didn't grow up in nobility. He grew up in the rural area of Orton Village.
I love Orton Village. Oh my god, so much.
Does that mean Link from Ocarina, the hero of time, ended up with Malon? I mean, he sure as hell didn't end up with Zelda. His descendant wasn't born into nobility or anything. I mean, unless he was whisked away to this town or whatever, kind of like in Ocarina. But I don't know. It kind of just the whole rural setting to me seems almost to suggest that maybe Link and Malon ended up together.
Yeah. Link is definitely, even when he's in his human form in Castle Town, he's treated like an outsider. People are like, oh, hey, Link. They're not like, oh my god, it's Link, like our future king. Like that's just, there's nothing like that. He gets treated like the outsider boy that he is. And, he sleeps in a fucking tree.
Yeah, he grows up outside of what is, I guess, the legal Hyrule Kingdom, because they mentioned that early in the story. Russell says something to the effect of, you've never been to Hyrule. So I guess the Ordon province is not, it's like technically within the boundaries, but it's not like a county legally within the actual jurisdiction of Hyrule Kingdom. I mean, or something. I don't know. This game is, by the way, divided into, actually, I guess 6 provinces in general, but 4 of them are based on the light spirits. So you have Ordona, Farron, it is Farron, isn't it?
Farron, yeah.
Farron, Lanayru, and Eldon.
Yeah.
Those names actually end up getting reused in Twilight Princess. Farron, Lanayru, and Eldon are dragons. Or not Twilight Princess, Skyward Sword. They're the dragons.
I was going to say, what?
Eldon Volcano, Farron Woods.
Yeah, the Farron Woods.
And those are recurring names within the Zelda franchise now, so.
Yeah, this game is definitely an inspirational piece for the rest of the Zelda games.
I like the light spirits. I like to think that maybe they are like reincarnated versions of the 3 dragons or whatever. And they seem to be the guardian deities. I mean, we don't see the Deku Tree or anything related to Jabu Jabu like Jabun was. We don't see dragons. So I feel like, besides Argarok, I feel like in this Zelda game, I mean, the light spirits are the guardian deities this time around. It kind of instills this feeling like maybe there's always, versions of them. And I don't know, are they in some way connected to the goddesses since they share similar names to Farron, Din, and Nehru?
I mean, true, yeah. I mean, it all just depends. I mean, it's kind of like, with normal human society here, it's like, like there's god or gods, everybody has their own depiction. So this might even be their depiction of who the deities are. And that's just the way that it's been and the way that it will be. And that's the way that they present themselves to this version of Hyrule too.
Yeah. Well, the goddesses are mentioned, but
Yeah.
with that throughout Hyrule, there's a whole pantheon of deities. I mean, the Gerudo tribe have their own like sand goddess. The goddess Hylia seems to have been forgotten about, since Skyward Sword, and nobody really talked about her. And then all of a sudden in Breath of the Wild, Hylia worship is back.
Yeah,
So
it's very strange. It's almost like what's the name in Skyrim? Oh, like the outrage in Skyrim with the Talos worship.
Oh, Talos, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird.
Bringing in Skyrim to every fucking episode.
And while
Not sorry.
Castle Town itself and Hyrule Castle remains a bustling center of activity, some of the other regions of Hyrule definitely seem to be ruins. And, Hyrule just seems to kind of have more of a loose kingdom in this iteration.
Yeah, it seems like more people, because I mean, like, there's a lot of population in Castle Town, but it feels like there's more in the outskirts and the rural. It's almost, I know this is going to sound weird, but it's almost like Texas and the big cities. Like there's a lot of people out in rural towns, and there's a lot, less people. It's populated in the city, but when you add up all those rural towns, you're like, oh my God, there's actually a lot of people there. And it's very, very strange for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, you've got Kakariko Village, which is Kakariko is actually a Western style town in this game.
Yes, I love that so much.
It has like a Western style redux of the original theme of the Kakariko Village theme.
I love Kakariko so much.
I know. It's cool. And I guess the Gorons kind of have their own society, but it's all within the mountain.
Yeah.
Zora's domain is virtually the same as it was in Ocarina, I guess.
Yeah, they don't really. I mean, Zora's never really venture out much, but I mean, it all just kind of depends on the game that you're playing. But yeah, in Twilight Princess, they're kind of scared, I guess, of like everything going on, especially with the Twilight Realm. So they're just like, I'm staying right here. I ain't moving. No, sir.
And then, of course, you have Gerudo Desert, where the Arbiter's Grounds is. I mean, where we get the history of the Midna's people, the Twilight, and how they were banished. They're these interlopers that tried to use the Triforce for themselves, and they got banished to the Twilight Realm. So you've got this whole... I mean, we brought up Arbiter's Grounds before, but I love how it's just this, like, ghost prison, in the middle of a desert that's inaccessible, except by shooting yourself through a fucking cannon.
I love that part. With the fucking hot air balloon. Yeah, and actually, I know this is going to sound so strange, especially for somebody like me, but there is actually a book that's kind of loosely based on, like, the Twilight Princess version of Zelda. It's called Goddess of Secrecy, and it's like a fan fiction. And I know that sounds totally weird for me, but it's so good. And it's literally like almost like a depiction of like what could happen if Link had somebody traveling with him. And I wanted to bring it up because like I haven't brought it up in other games because like this is like the main that it's based on. But if you get a chance, you need to check that out because it's so good. That they haven't updated since like 2018 though is the only thing that sucks.
Oh.
Like I've been waiting for years for them to update this book. It's so like I literally read it so much.
Well, shit, I waited years for Ben Drowned to finish, and eventually they finished that. So
that's true. That's true.
Years and years. I mean, I think it was like 10 years or some shit before we actually got Juducible to finish that shit up. What's the book called though again?
It's called The Legend of Zelda: Goddess of Secrecy.
Goddess of Secrecy. Huh.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I mean, I like, for instance, I mean, there's several comics that are they're not canon to the games, but they kind of have more expanded backstories and whatnot.
Yes.
And so the Zelda manga have always been kind of cool. We're not going to talk about the cartoon.
Yeah.
Excuse me, princess.
Yeah. Well, I mean, also like this is the first time that like for me, especially growing up with Zelda, that like you get to see Link speak, and he's just like this jittery, like he's like Tom Holland in No Way Home. He's like and it's just it's so cool to be able to see somebody depict what they think Link would be like, and I fucking love it so much. Like I the last chapter I read was chapter 56, but I mean it's like 5,000 words per chapter, so it's a pretty deep book, but I recommend that everybody check it out. I mean, hopefully with more people reading it, they'll actually update. Please. It's so
Yeah,
good.
for real.
But
That sounds cool, though. I'd like to check that out.
yeah. It's like it's if someone were to like look for an inspiration for a new game, that would be what I'd want them to do. is this book right here. Right here. It's so good. It's like about like a long lost goddess and shit. It's like oh man, it's so good. So good.
Cruel agendas. At your deadly meetings, Dukes and Judas. Smellbug youth. Get the genetic place, madam. Think from speed of you gun. What did any beauty fail me? Mobility of ball maturity and pure and Swiss. Or gentle good pitch. You own fight off. I'm hurrying up on your boat. You've done it.
Twilight Princess is a game that could definitely translate well into a movie. I mean, if
Yeah.
there ever were to be a movie, I think they'd the best thing would be to start at like Ocarina of Time, but then do, Twilight Princess afterwards. Actually, a TV series would be perfect with like one game per
Like
season.
with The Witcher.
Yeah, that would be the perfect way to do it. If Link were ever in a TV series or a movie, I mean, obviously you can't have him be completely mute like he is in the games.
I feel like he'd grunt a lot.
I feel like he would be a mostly reticent character. Like
Yeah.
you don't get a lot of his personality from the way he talks. Just anywhere in the game where like he would normally be saying a response or multiple choice responses you can give, that's where
Mhm.
he talks, and it's just
Yeah.
straight to the point.
Yeah.
But he's mostly still a silent character.
Or like hearing like his internal monologue while he's going through shit, like walking through the fucking water dungeon. I'm gonna pull this damn lever again. Like I would just love to see something like that. That would be so freaking cool. So freaking cool.
Yeah, it would be. But yeah, this Zelda game definitely is one of the most cinematic, if not the most cinematic. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
Skyward Sword maybe slightly more cinematic, but
It's a little bit more cartoony though, kind of like Wind Waker. I feel like that one's kind of like Wind Waker was like the predecessor to Skyward Sword for me. This is like the predecessor to like Breath of the Wild and like future games.
Skyward Sword is kind of a hybrid between the styles of Wind Waker and Twilight Princess.
Yeah.
Breath of the Wild is also sort of in between, but kind of more on the side of Twilight Princess. They
Yeah.
still use cell shading, I think, to make it kind of look vibrant and colorful, but the proportions are realistic, and the amount of detail is just as realistic. But I was just saying, like, in terms of, like, I guess, like, the story writing and the dialogue and whatnot.
Yeah,
You know.
that's true. That's true.
But this game is damn close. I mean, Midna was the first character in the Zelda series to actually have spoken dialogue, even if it's all gibberish. You know, you get a sense for the way that she emphasizes certain words and her accent and her voice. You know.
It's the first one, like you can kind of hear like whenever you like go to talk to a character like a Goron, they're "Arr!" but like you don't ever get like the feeling of like what their accent is like, which is something that I love so much about this game, because you get more of a feel for the different kinds of people as you travel throughout Hyrule. You know, like the sand people are like, oh, you know, the Gorons are "Arr!" and then you know the Zora's like
Yeah.
but you get more of a feel for like who these people are, and it delves you a lot more into, and it makes it more intense. It pulls you into the game more.
Yeah, it does. And I mean, Breath of the Wild, you know, if you compare the cutscenes themselves, is obviously going to be more cinematic than anything else. But overall, as a game, due to the open world nature of it, you know, I would definitely
They're
argue
very similar.
Twilight
Yeah.
Princess and Skyward Sword are more cinematic in terms of the overall game.
Yeah.
You know,
you get
and
more cutscenes, more like dramatic entrances and shit like that.
well, it's just, you know, there's more going on. In Breath of the Wild, there's not nearly as much cutscene as to game ratio, I guess. The cutscene to game ratio is much wider, which is fine. It's an open world. I mean, you're gonna have more, but you can easily envision a game like Twilight Princess as a movie or a TV season because of the way that the story flows.
Yeah, and with the subtleties of the accents and everything. I mean, I can just imagine like I can picture A-list stars right now that would be perfect as a Goron, or somebody that would be perfect as like the guy who what's his name? The guy who plays Malfoy would
Tom
be a
Felton.
perfect fucking Zora. Would be a perfect fucking Zora. The Zora Prince just
All Gorons are black. Nobody can convince me otherwise. They are all black.
And they're all like or Samoan. Samoan would be like perfect too.
Samoan
Like-
would work too.
God, that's a terrible screenshot.
I didn't mean to take it.
I look all dazed like, huh?
That was
Yeah.
actually an accident. I was trying to save the podcast. Command S does something different.
But yeah, I feel like they would be like Samoan or black, just like, or like Polynesian or Islander or something, just because they're so like, "Arr!" and they're just always excited and fucking happy. Like Samoans
What's
are
going
always
on,
happy.
brother?
Yeah, like, what's up, man? What's up, brother?
Or maybe
It's
they
the
just
buzz.
all sound like Hulk Hogan. I'd be okay with that too if Hulk
Hell
Hogan
yeah, brother.
if Hulk Hogan just voiced every Goron.
But you know what's sad is because they're bald, the only person that I can see as King Goron is The Rock.
Okay. I'd like, you know what, too, though? Like, I go and I look at, like, Darunia, and I'm like, I don't know, maybe he needs to be voiced by James Earl Jones.
Or Batista. Batista would be a really good one, too.
Batista would be a perfect Goron. Oh, my goodness. All right, I need a movie with The Rock and Dave Batista as Gorons, and James Earl Jones and Hulk Hogan. Just throw them all in there.
We have one Zora, Tom Felton.
Benedict
And the same
Cumberbatch as
people?
a Zora, I don't know.
Who would the sand people be? What's his
The
name?
Gerudo. Well, they're all women, so.
Yeah.
And there aren't any in this game.
Zendaya. There we go. Done.
Zendaya. Zendaya as,
I don't know who the hell would
Midna?
play as Zelda or Link, but we'll figure it out.
No, we need someone with kind of like an Indian, like, or Eastern,
Gal
Asian
Gadot.
design. Gal Gadot, she's more European though. I don't know. Someone
She's
for Midna, kind of that more Eastern feel. I don't know.
Priyanka Chopra?
I don't know. I don't know who that is.
She's God, I don't want to get this wrong and be wrong. I want to say she's not Pakistani. She's something like that. I know she's from Middle East.
Okay. Middle Eastern. That's what I'm thinking of, okay?
Yeah.
I guess Gal Gadot technically is Middle Eastern, but I don't know.
She's Israeli. That's I
Israeli,
Brazilian, but she's Israeli.
Israel is just like right on the border / outside. When I'm thinking Middle Eastern, I'm thinking more like Arabian,
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, somebody with Arabian heritage would be perfect for Midna.
Yeah. Especially because she's got such a deep complexion.
Yeah.
And she's got like this beautiful like olive tone underneath her face whenever she's just like showing like the side of it. Like that would be like the perfect tone to like really accentuate, especially with the contacts. Oh my God, they'd look like someone with like that kind of like, especially facial structure would be perfect. Plus, just being able to represent all different types of people would be just amazing. I'd love to be able to see that.
The Zelda series could do with a lot of representation. I would love to see, just a little bit of race swapping a little bit, just to make, because most of the Hylians seem to be white, don't they?
They do. But if they were like a Nordic, I'd be okay with that.
But for instance, the Gerudo are definitely based on Middle Eastern culture. So
yeah.
Kind of like Persian,
yeah. We're over here talking about a show that will probably never exist, but it would be so freaking cool.
One thing I wanted to mention is that Twilight Princess is obviously one of the more successful and acclaimed Zelda games. Let's see. Holds 95 out of 100 or 96 out of 100 for the Wii and GameCube versions respectively.
Oh, yeah.
On Metacritic. So it was the highest rated game of 2006 on Metacritic.
Yeah, and actually I couldn't even HD only came out like 5-6 years ago. I was really surprised by that, especially because the game came out in 2007, right? In the US?
Yeah, 2007. It received awards for Best Artistic Design, Best Original Score, and Best Use of Sound from IGN. Both IGN and Nintendo Power gave it Best Graphics and Best Story.
Duh.
Academy of Interactive Arts and Scientists said it outstanding achievement in story and character development. It received Game of the Year awards from Game Trailers, OneUp.com, Electronic Gaming Monthly, Game Informer, Games Radar, GameSpy, Spacey Awards. Fuck Kevin Spacey. I don't know if that's actually related to him.
I don't know.
X-Play and Nintendo Power.
Yeah.
So
this game received so many freaking awards, and it deserves every single one of them. Also, can I just state this before Breath of the Wild came out, this was the highest received Zelda game. It was the most sold Zelda game.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, the best-selling title, huh? Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. This was not only highly anticipated. I remember, Wind Waker was my first Zelda game, and shortly after I played that, I started hearing rumblings about Twilight Princess, which had actually been in development for quite some time. I really didn't have to wait very long for it. It was already towards the end of its development cycle. But Twilight Princess and Phantom Hourglass had already been announced, I think, by the time I heard about Twilight Princess.
Yeah.
So, and that came out right afterwards. But I remember just being so excited, and as soon as I played it, I couldn't stop. I was obsessed with this game. I played it all the way through. I think I beat this one before I ever beat Wind Waker, to be honest with you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure. And like we've talked about before, especially with gameplay, but like even with story, like if you're wanting to play a game for the first time as like wanting to play a Zelda game, this is your go-to.
Yeah.
It has a very intense story, perfect freaking tutorial, no way you can mess it up. It's great. It's
a solid fucking game, I guess we'll kind of get into our final thoughts here and wrap it up. But what else do you have to say about Twilight Princess?
For me, I know that we always talk about, graphics and audio, especially, when it comes to games, because we're all audio and video files. We love them. This game, even in 2021, if you're playing the HD version, even the GameCube holds up so well for being the age that it is, and it's this beautiful graphic style that I haven't really seen besides like Okami. I don't know if you've ever played Okami, but the style is kind of similar in that aspect.
I haven't, and I've always wanted to.
Yeah, so the one that I remember playing on the Wii, this is a very similar style of graphic, and I haven't really seen a lot like this since. And I think it's such an underappreciated type of graphic. And I still listen to Midna's Lament from this day, like to this day now. Like it is one of my favorite piano songs.
100%. Twilight Princess has some of the best soundtracks of the entire fucking series.
Deepest regret is not being able to see the symphony when they came into town.
I know.
They played the entire soundtrack to this game, and I've always wanted to see them. That's one of my biggest wish list items, is to see them so they can play one of the soundtracks from this game. Because I feel like out of all the Zelda games, this has the best, most beautiful, ethereal soundtrack. It's very light and airy, but it has a darkness, and it just has this crisp, you can feel the overall theme in every single song that you listen to. And I
might
still,
agree with that.
Yeah.
I might agree with that this is the best soundtrack in the Zelda series. But, for the same reasons that you mentioned, the only thing that would make it better if it was fully orchestrated. And they didn't start doing that until Skyward Sword. I don't know if they redid that on the HD version or not, but fully orchestrated is always going to be better than synthesized. But this soundtrack, in terms of the actual songs, though, it's just incredible. I love it. Like I said, Midna's theme is one of my favorites. It's probably my favorite Hyrule Field theme. Malomart, like we said, is a banger.
I love it so much. There's just like especially like even just the opening sequence where it's do 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 do, and it just starts playing. I'm like, you get to hear the whistle, and just there's just so much from this game that like all of the soundtrack is so pretty. I don't even know another word. It's just pretty. Okay. Like I love it so much. But overall in all, there's a reason why this has been my tried and true for many, many years, and it still will continue to be. I'm sorry, Breath of the Wild. I like you so far, but you can't beat Midna and the just the overall graphics and feel of this game. There's just so much about it that what's not to love, essentially, at this point,
I would love to see a sequel to Twilight Princess that takes place in the Twilight realm.
I would die for that.
And they could do it in the Breath of the Wild style gameplay, but incorporate some of the mechanics of Twilight Princess, including the hidden skills. And if Link travels to the Twilight realm, make it to where like Midna occupies the exact same role. She just communicates with him telepathically because she has the power to do that as the Queen of Twilight or whatever,
Yeah, exactly. They had the opportunity too. They did. They had the opportunity to make a sequel. I think that it would be a cool project for Nintendo to pick up after the Breath of the Wild 2. Is something to the feel of Twilight Princess. I feel like that's the next direction that they're gonna have to go, because we got like the comical, like pretty style of Breath in the Wild, but I feel like we need more realism. There's a lot of games that are going that direction. And I know that Nintendo is known for its comical, light and airy graphics, but I really feel like to kind of drive it in, they really need another style of game like this, because this game I know is a reason why a lot of people picked up a GameCube and a Wii, is because they saw this and they saw the graphics and the fan art, and people just ran with it.
It's very popular in the West, not as much in Japan, but the art style of Twilight Princess is just is heavily admired here. I agree. I mean, I liked the HD tech demo that seemed to just be an HD version of of Twilight Princess graphics. You remember seeing that tech demo where Link was fighting Armogama, and it looked good as hell.
And that Nintendo has the capability to do this, and I think that maybe they might be waiting for a non-portable version of a system, because like the world is going that way, but people still, with COVID, they might be changing direction. This would be a really, really, really cool sequel to build like, hey, we're staying at home a lot more because of COVID. This is a cool game to play, and be able to follow up on this and be able to. Because look at Metroid, like Prime and even this game, and there's multiple games that Nintendo has come out with that have a realism style, but I feel like they really need to try and delve into that world, because they will kick ass at it.
They will, honestly. I've said before, I would love to see games done, if Breath of the Wild is the is the way that the gameplay is going to be from now on. This is the Breath of the Wild era, no longer the Ocarina of Time era, where all games are going to sort of work off of that framework. I would love to see a Breath of the Wild style version of a sequel to Majora's Mask, a sequel to Twilight Princess, and a straight up remake of the first 2 Zelda games.
Yeah.
That's what I would like to see.
This game alone was the 13th installment, and I feel like, there's just this one was like a really big torch for the following of what came after this, including, the different art styles that they used for, promotions, and, the way that they furthered the franchise with, Zelda, because people are always going to love Zelda. You tell a 50-year-old man that a new Zelda game's coming out, he's going to go spend $300 on a friggin' Switch to go play it.
Yes.
And I'm still going to do that. I'm going to be in a retirement home playing friggin' Twilight Princess. I'm going to find a way to do it, even if I have to hack into a system to do it.
Fuck yeah. I mean, as for my final thoughts, I was really excited to play Twilight Princess again. I remember thinking about it and being like, I can't wait to get back into the world. And I did. I did months ago. I was already playing through the game and had already gotten through all of it. And now I'm already kind of like, I kind of, I would play again.
Yeah. This is one that I could pick up after years and just feel like this would be a comfort game for me. Kind of like how Horizon is, which is why it was one of my picks, is because like I can pick up that game over and fucking over again, and I fucking love it. This game too, and I think this game is really what inspired a lot of my gameplay. It's just this beautiful realism with this just fucking ethereal soundtrack, and just being able to punch that home. Like that's what really pushed me into all of these single player, very beautifully graphic and harrowing story style games is this guy right here, this Link dude.
Fuck yeah, I agree.
Let me just piss everybody off. This Zelda.
But yeah, Twilight Princess is definitely up there in my top 5 Zelda games. I've already pretty much announced its placing. I mean, it's tied for second place with Wind Waker. Twilight Princess is a hell of a lot of fun for me. But coming up next on Collateral Gaming, we hope you all enjoyed the holiday season. In January, we're going to be talking about Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga. This was one of Zach's picks. Unfortunately, Zach wasn't on this part of the episode. It just didn't work out. He was doing stuff, and I just wanted to get this out of the way. I mean, it's already a couple days after Christmas, so I'm like, let's get this done. So, he'll be back for Mario and Luigi because that's his game. I'm really excited. I love the Mario and Luigi RPG series. It's actually
they're fun.
They're a lot of fun for me. Bowser's Inside Story is actually my favorite. But Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga is probably a close second. Thinking about the series as a whole. In February, we are talking about Horizon Zero Dawn, and then in part 2, Horizon Forbidden West, we'll be doing a spoiler-free game launch edition.
Yes, I'm so excited. Y'all don't even know. Like y'all think I fangirl over this game and Skyrim. Like Skyrim, yeah, I fangirled a lot, but Horizon, y'all, it is single-handedly the most beautiful game I've ever freaking played in my life. And you need to play the first game now before February comes, because this game, it seems like a short game, but I guarantee you, to get a good playthrough, you're going to need a minimum of 300 hours. Minimum.
I've already started playing through Horizon Zero Dawn again. I just started from the beginning. I'm enjoying the hell out of it. So we'll be talking about both games. I'm really excited about it because Horizon is honestly a lot of fun.
There's a reason why it's a candle holder. It was Game of the Year. There's so many things inspired by Aloy. Y'all need. I promise y'all. Like we will have like a whole entire thing go down on Patreon if y'all hype it up enough for me, because I will fucking do it. Let's go.
Fuck yeah. As far as game launch episodes go, otherwise, between January and February, I've got a couple of ideas. Not going to commit to them yet, so I'm not going to announce them yet, but we are definitely doing Horizon Forbidden West, and that's actually going to be part 2 of our numbered episodes. And also, we are going to talk about, this is coming out at the end of February, so we'll probably be releasing our spoiler-free episode at the beginning of March, and that's Elden Ring.
Yeah, y'all will probably hear my brother in that one. He's super excited for this game.
Agonies is almost definitely coming back, and we are actually planning to be a part of his live stream event
Yeah.
on the day of release. We'll rotate, I guess, and just kind of,
Have a playathon. I don't even know. It's gonna be super fun though. I really hope that y'all stick around and wait around for Agony, because y'all think that we get crazy in the podcast. It gets insane when we're in a live stream together. We make fun of each other, we scream at each other, we fight, and it's not actually a fight, but we just like we have arguments like, you're stupid. Shut up. I didn't ask you.
That's awesome.
Yeah. We get some really good familial moments whenever we do kind of stuff like this together. So I'm really, really excited. I hope that y'all get to hang out with us whenever we do that. Agony will definitely be posting stuff, and we'll definitely be posting stuff as that gets closer, because that's going to be just so much fun.
Fuck yeah. To celebrate the holiday season, we do also have a not director's cut, it's Collateral Cinema, a bonus round episode, a holiday edition of the Collateral Gaming bonus round. That's already been recorded. I did it last night with Bo. We talked about our top 3 angry video game nerd episodes and a review of Home Alone games. So that was a lot of fun. We had a blast talking about it, and I'll have that out probably around the same time that I have this out. So, which at the time of this recording, I'm wanting to just go ahead and get these done like tonight, maybe. But I don't know. Maybe I'll release them tomorrow, depending on how lazy I feel. We'll see.
At least you're honest. At least you're honest with the listeners.
Yeah. Well, by the time you're listening to this, it'll already been uploaded. So.
Meet merp.
But anywho, I guess that's all there is to say. Besides, go check us out on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. So hit us up on our social media. You can also find us on Good Pods and on Patreon. We have exclusive video game Let's Play commentaries. We'll do more if we get more patrons, honestly. Like, when we have more patrons, we'll honestly be more motivated to do it. Right now, it's sort of a side project, but if it's actually making money, shit,
girl.
We'd love to turn this into a career. That's my hope with the podcast, but at the very least, keep it self-sustaining. We spend about $14 a month hosting this on Podbean, so if we even were able to recoup that would be great.
We could break even. That'd be great, guys.
We could break even, and then we could start saving up money for, better equipment and whatnot. So, yeah.
Better equipment, save for tents to meet you guys at cons. I mean, whatever y'all want. I feel like I'm pretty funny, so.
But we have $1 and $5 tiers. Donate either amount, and you'll get access to the commentaries. If something doesn't work, let me know. If you want to be involved, we're definitely looking for guest hosts this month. I'd be happy to DM you the list of episodes we're doing. So if you're interested in something, if you want to see us review something, definitely let us know. I mean,
yeah, let us know.
We can always throw in a game launch episode or a bonus round or shit. Nothing's set in stone, so just hit us up. You can find Collateral Gaming wherever you get your podcasts, wherever you're listening to right now. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, you name it. And if we're not somewhere, we want to be there, so let us know.
Exactly. I'll even edit a TikTok for you guys if you really want me to. I'll attempt it. Okay.
We do have a Twitch account, so when we actually do take up live streaming, you can check us out there.
Yeah.
But I guess that's it for now, but we hope you all had a Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Festivus, or if you don't celebrate anything, we hope you had a happy time all the same. I know I've had a good Christmas despite the circumstances, so.
Yeah.
But anyway, guys, stay safe, be happy. That being said, I'm Ashley Chancellor.
And I'm Megan Gomez.
This has been Collateral Gaming. We are out.
Bye-bye.
Collateral Gaming is a Collateral Media podcast. All music and game clips are owned by their respective creators and are used for educational purposes only. Please don't sue us. We're poor.